Everybody is talking about real estate and buying and figuring out how to make money on real estate. It's a craze. Hello, my name is Peter Charlton. Welcome. I'm going to talk about buying real estate today. Everybody wants to know whether they should buy now. It's now that I find is the biggest issue. So I'm going to talk about real estate in a slower way than many people. People want to talk about whether they should buy. Well, I'm going to talk about 4 ways. I'm going to talk about getting ready and understanding the market. Then I'm going to talk about why you want to buy now. The next part is I'm going to talk about financing. And finally, I'm going to talk about going out and buying. Okay, so stay with me. I'll get to the fun part. So getting ready. The internet has done something great for us. We can do our own homework before we go out of our house. We can, start to look around and see what a house costs that we want. So where do we start? We start with making a list with our partner of what we do want in a house. Do we want 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms? Do we want a deck? Do we want a garden? Besides the house list you want, you have to make a list and say, how far do you want to drive or commute? Is there good transportation, public transportation that you need? Other factors that you should consider when you're looking. Do you have any desired neighborhoods that you want to live in? Or do you want to live in a gated community? All these things, the more you can make a list of your desired house that the two of you want to live in, the better it's going to be as you go along. Once you have your desired list, you can go look on the internet at communities and see whether your list that you want matches the neighborhoods you want to live in, and the price point of what it is. So you can be a much more informed buyer when you go out and start looking, because you can have spent time, and it's a fun job to do, to go look at houses online with your partner. I've done it, and it's really fun. And you will know a lot more than our parents did 30, 40 years ago, because there was no internet around. So you can know, and not only have to rely on an agent, you know what's available in the neighborhoods you want to buy in. The next thing I want to talk about is why. Why do you want to buy now? So I go out and talk to young folks in the LGBT community, and they seem to think that there's a housing shortage. And so they want to buy now because they're worried that there's not going to be a house that they can afford in 5 years. Well, many people don't have their finances in order in their younger years. And so I think they should get that in order first. But there's a real problem because they think there's a shortage of houses. There really isn't. There will always be houses. The question always is, what price will they be? So when you look at it, young people are buying maybe too soon. When we get into the middle age, like me and older, we're buying, should we buy bigger houses? Is it a good investment? Should we take on more debt? Everybody's wondering, because everybody thinks that it's a golden thing to buy as a house. Well, guess what? I'm 66. I've seen houses downturn. 2008 was a big problem year for houses. They were worth less than their mortgages, and millions of Americans were affected by that. So houses prices go up and down. So really identify why. Are you going along with what the society is saying, buy now, and what the media is saying is buy now? You better make sure that you want to be in this crazy market, because it's overheated in many parts of the country, and that is possibly not the best time to be buying. And if you're buying because all your friends are buying, and I certainly have, been pressured in my own mind, in my own ways, to follow my friends. But think for yourself, because a mortgage is a big commitment, and buying a house is one of the largest investment decisions you have to make. Third area I want to talk about is financing. Typically, banks require about 20% down. So if you're going to buy a house at $100,000, you need $20,000 of available cash. That's, of course, excluding your emergency funds. You always got to keep your emergency funds separate from your cash that you're going to put down. You have to look at what else you have. What other debts do you have? If you have a large amount of credit card debt, you should get rid of that credit card debt, or know how you're going to deal with it, possibly before you buy a house. Because it's at a 25% or so interest rate per annum, and it's eating you. So maybe it's not the right time if you have a large amount of credit card debt. So The best way to deal with mortgages is to go and apply for a mortgage in advance of buying a house. That's right, you can go to a bank and they can say, you qualify for a mortgage. What will that do for you? That means that when you go out and shop for a house, which is the exciting part, which I'm getting to, you'll know that you can get a mortgage for X dollars from that bank for a period of 90 or so days, and they will guarantee that they'll loan it to you, subject to them having a quick review of the house. But a mortgage is a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing about a mortgage is that over a 20-year time frame, you will have paid it off, which means that at the end of 20 years, you will have a paid-for house, which is a wonderful feeling. But during that period, what you're committing to the mortgage company or to the bank is a very serious thing. You're committing to pay your mortgage payment monthly on time for 20 years. Do you want to take on that commitment? When I talk about taking on the commitment, people say, oh, it's not a big deal. It could ruin your credit ratings. And if you ruin your credit ratings, anytime you go buy something else, anything, a car, a washer dryer, you may pay more because you have a poor credit rating. You must try in all ways to keep your credit rating going. So, if you can get a bank to give you a pre-arranged mortgage so you can go out shopping. The other thing that you should consider, should I have a mortgage broker? What does a mortgage broker do? A mortgage broker, plain and simple, will help you get the best rate and the best terms of a mortgage possible. You should possibly use one if you believe you may have a problem, but they're always good to get to and to talk through. They have a fee, but that fee is not paid by you, it's paid by the mortgage company. So you have to think about if you can find a better interest rate and terms. That's what they are there for. So we get to the final part of this, and it's emotional and fun. Guess what? It's a turmoil out there. People are buying houses. When you go to buy a house, first of all, what you need is an agent. What kind of person should you have as an agent? You should have someone that really understands your list of what you're looking for, really listens to you, and they should make sure that they're not trying to sell you something quickly, that you truly relate to them, okay? And they relate to you. It's a large, large decision. And so an agent is important that you relate to them and they relate to you. There's many out there, so if you don't find the one the first time, try another. Some people want a gay agent. It's not really gay or not gay. It's to find a person that you relate to. So if you relate to a gay person better, find a gay agent. I've had success with a non-gay and a gay agent. Both have been people that really understood my needs. So once you find an agent and they understand your list, let's face it, they're going to have to take you out seeing houses. Be honest. But if you get yourself into a house that you want to buy, and it gets very frantic, it gets emotional, one of you will love the bathroom, or you'll really love the backyard, and you want to buy it. It's all emotional, it's all time sensitive then. Guess what? Maybe 5 other people want to buy that house. You have to keep your calm in that period and know the maximum amount of money you want to spend. Do not get crazy and spend 10 or 20, 30 or 40 or 50% more than you thought you could spend, because that's what's happening out there. People are going crazy at the last minute. I wanted the house. Well, guess what? There's always going to be another house. So please, do not go crazy. Keep your cool, because you could ruin your financial life if you overpay for a house. Please, it's a fun thing. But the best part of owning a house is at the end of every day, you come home to your home. And a home is an important thing, but don't rush to buy it. Make sure you know that there are other houses out there and there's a plan. So don't do it quickly. Take some time with my steps. As always, I'm around to help with each step. And my name is Peter Charlton, and my email is peter@petercharlton.ca. Take your time when you're buying a house. Thank you for listening.